Fitness Fables is the second RPG VR fitness game to hit the Quest this year. And we're going to be taking a quick look into the gameplay and fitness intensity to find out if it's a worthwhile addition to your VR fitness library. This video is sponsored by the team over at Immersion Games, so thank you very much, guys. Now, I'm not really sure what's going on with all these RPG fitness games, but I am so here for it. Combining two of my favorite things, and what a time to be alive. I was so excited to get stuck into this one. And in terms of story, there is a little bit of a story here. It's not exactly Tolkien's world building, but there has been an invasion and all the worlds are falling apart. So it's your job to combine kinetic energy, which is essentially exercise, and magic to defeat the enforcers of evil. Now that's obviously a very oversimplified background, but the game and world has slowly introduced you from this blue sprite. And what I like most is that they don't really muck around too much with tutorials. Within your first minute of pressing play, you're going to be squatting away. Now, more importantly, the core gameplay loop is that you're moving forward this mechanical cart thing. And you have to do this with a range of different exercises like shoulder rolls, battle ropes, flies, shadow boxing, and of course squats. Yeah, like most VR fitness games, there are a ton of bodyweight squats in here. And then every 5 levels or so, you'll go face to face with the boss, and here you'll have a bit more choice on your lineup of moves to take them down one-on-one, or one-on-two. Now the scope of this game is pretty impressive too. It takes about 24 hours to complete this game, and it's priced at $20, so it's a pretty good deal. Especially when you consider that you're going to actually be sweating the entire time. So this is most likely going to take a few months to get through. And I guess the most similar game out right now is Shardfall, but weirdly with the worlds and the 5 portals, the graphics and kind of everything, it gives me Crash Bandicoot Warped vibes, but a whole lot sweatier. And I think if you look at every exercise individually, they're not super high quality. So for example, the shadow boxing doesn't quite feel as good as Les Mills Body Combat, and the bow isn't as good as Undeath Unchained. But given the variety of exercises, I think this can be forgiven, and I do like how they focus on good form and range of motion rather than just rep count. And the final thing I'll say about the individual exercises is that some of them are really quite innovative. Like, I can't believe they gamified medicine ball slams, and I can't believe it actually works. You can really tell there's been a lot of effort put in to make sure all of these exercises are safe, enjoyable, and actually challenging in VR. And a lot of the moves have come from working with personal trainers. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the fitness stats to decide if it's a good workout. So in my first 20-minute test, I sort of played it as intended. I burned almost 200 calories, which is pretty solid, and I did feel a bit of burn in my legs, especially with the pedal squats, and actually even doing all the shoulder circles with no resistance. That still started to hurt, so I think I have quite a bit of mobility to work on there. But overall, solid cardio workout with a nice mixed effort from zone 2 to zone 4. Put it in the equivalent of playing rhythm games with the added bonus that you're actually moving through proper exercises with the best range of motion to your ability. Now after I got the exercises down, I came back a few days later and put on some resistance bands. And here I attempted to make this as difficult as possible. So for every exercise, I did a more challenging alternative. So for example, squats, I would do a calf raise at the end, or even add a jump. And for the shoulder exercises or arm exercises, this was just substantially more difficult due to the resistance. Playing like this did increase my heart rate to 142, which is up by 11, and you can see that there was a high percentage time on zone 3 and 4. But what was quite surprising was towards the end of the workout, my arms were actually failing, and holding that pretend bow felt insanely heavy, which is really cool. So at hard difficulty, it really was quite a challenging workout, and even a few hours later, I can still feel the front and side of my delts like they got a bit of a pump. I also did one playthrough with a skinny resistance band, and this worked quite well as well. Is it worth it? Well, I think so, especially if you have access to a resistance band. It's definitely one of the better upper body VR workout games I've found. So here's the pros. It's subscription free. There's a range of different exercises. They've done a very good job of rewarding form and deep squats. And there's loads of content to go through. They also have multiple layers of gamification with progression, stats, and real-time leaderboards. But here's what I think could be improved. So band exercises, I just didn't really enjoy the racket that much. With my controller grips, it felt a little bit annoying to aim. But more importantly, if you have like a knee injury or something like that, then you're probably not going to be able to play this game because you get stuck at the squats. Now that all being said, they do have a training mode. So if you like one exercise in particular, you can select that one and do this sort of self-contained workout, which is cool as well. And as you can see, the graphics aren't exactly great. But then again, it is a VR fitness game, so it's not exactly the #1 priority. Yeah, overall, it's definitely a solid addition to your VR fitness library. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.